Hello, everybody. I'm Creighton, and welcome back to Chernobylite. I did not get to do the second tour, so a few things I've learned since then. Um, First, I guess the game mostly consists of basically 5 stages, and then you go through, or however many, let's see, I think it's 5 or 6. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 different stage areas. And because the last video was at the mosque, I don't remember where it was, honestly. Maybe it was here, Kapachi, or whatever that is. Um, so yeah, you're basically scavenging resources and building a crew to go do something. Find this gal somehow. Um, as far as so let's go. So we did Moscow Island last time. Let's go to the Red Forest. Do 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 do. Okay. Sorry, I just always think Doctor Who with that. Okay, so first things first. There we go. We actually have a map. um, this is one thing I didn't realize last time, and it'll have the question marks, and then as you go to the question marks, it will tell you what was there, whether it was a scientist, a note, or whatever. And you can also put markers on them to figure out which one to go to. See how it's highlighted there now? So, and I think I missed a few on the other one. Oops. I also did discover that you can die in these, even though it says it's a tour and everything's harmless. Basically, there's no enemies. But if you get too close to something that's highly irradiated, you're still going to die. So we would make our way to the Maka. And there he is. No reason not to.
Did you know that following the Chernobyl disaster, the Soviet military conducted a large-scale culling of domestic and wild animals in the affected areas? This was necessary to prevent the spread of contamination, but it had a significant impact on the local ecosystem and wildlife populations.
I bet. I actually did not know that.
The exact number of animals killed during the culling is unknown, but it is estimated to be in the tens of thousands.
Jesus.
This included domesticated animals such as cows, pigs, and horses, as well as wild animals like deer, boars, and wolves. Sadly, yes, the only option was to reduce the risk of radioactive contamination of the food supply. Minimizing the exposure of humans and other animals to radioactive materials was also an important goal. Some dogs and cats escaped into the woods in 1986. Their descendants are still living in the zone today, despite the radiation. Volunteers and welfare organizations feed and monitor them.
First we kill them, now we feed them. Okay, so it's probably not going to do it since we're on it. Okay, no, it's because I have the marker on it. So yeah, it tells us it's a scientist there. So yeah, we'll just systematically go through these.
Did you know aircraft were used not only to assist in the liquidation of the disaster site, but also for cloud seeding? The military was tasked with cloud seeding to prevent radioactive fallout from reaching Moscow and other major Soviet cities. Cloud
I was
seeding
just
is the
thinking that, what the
process of
hell's cloud
introducing
seeding?
materials into clouds to generate rain or snowfall. Cloud seeding
So, weather
increases
manipulation.
precipitation in specific areas by adding particles with additional nuclei around which water can condense. The most common method of cloud seeding involves dropping chemicals, such as silver iodide, into clouds from an aircraft. Two 16 pilots undertook risky flights near the still-burning power plant, firing silver iodide-filled projectiles into the radioactive clouds
Mm,
within a 10-kilometer radius of Chernobyl. They then chased the dangerous clouds away, up to 100 kilometers, into the skies over Belarusian cities like Modulo, Norulia, Gomel, Koiniki, and Brahin.
interesting.
From May to December 1986, planes made repeated flights around Chernobyl in an 80-kilometer loop, dispersing Cement 600, a mixture of cement and special agents. This caused a 5-month drought in Ukraine, as the Cement 600 absorbed moisture from clouds, preventing precipitation.
Ugh, wow. Like, it just seems things went from bad to worse on this, you know? Let's go hit this one next.
Welcome to the Red Forest, a famous tract of woodlands located in the exclusion zone around the Chernobyl nuclear power plant.
The forest earned its name due to the red color of the pine trees that succumbed to intense radiation following the nuclear accident in
Okay.
1986.
I was just thinking pine trees aren't red.
The Red Forest is still considered one of the most radioactive places on Earth.
Really?
Its trees had to be buried to prevent the further spread of radioactive contamination. The forest's soil, water, and air are also irradiated. Fortunately, despite the contamination, the Red Forest has become a unique habitat for a variety of wildlife, including deer, wild boar, and wolves.
Yeah, a lot
Scientists
of the
have also
wildlife
observed
survived and is actually
mutations
still
in the local
thriving.
plants and animals, including genetic abnormalities and changes in physical characteristics.
Some of the wildlife has adapted very well to it there. Unfortunately, some of it has not. There it is. Oh, it's probably, yep, a note. When the Chernobyl exclusion zone was established, soldiers were assigned to prevent villagers from returning to evacuated settlements. However, this was often misunderstood by the farmers who begged the soldiers to let them return to their animals and fields. Since radiation is invisible, they didn't understand the danger. The soldiers also frequently measured crops, eggs, and other farm produce for radioactivity. If anything was deemed dangerous, it had to be confiscated and buried. However, the villagers often returned later to retrieve confiscated foods and consume them anyway. Yeah, that kind of just goes to show like how ignorant of radiation we can be. You know, it is an invisible killer. It's kind of that whole like, and I don't mean to get all religious, but like people are like, well, you can't prove that God exists because you can't see him. It's like, well, can you see the error? This is one of those things. It's like you can't see radiation, but it's gonna freaking kill you. There it is. The pine. Ooh, that looks weird. The pine tree shaped like a cross or a trident. It's not a cross. It's a trident. And the Red Forest serves as a memorial even before the Chernobyl disaster. During World War II, Germans hanged prisoners from the tree. Later, relatives of the victims marked it with embroidered towels. A plaque and obelisk were added, as well as a surrounding fence. Despite the Red Forest being cut down, this tree remained standing for a few years before collapsing. It was taken to a radiological base in, I'm not even trying that one, in some town. A tree symbol was used on the badge of the First Congress of the Union of Chernobyl and on the Chernobyl Savior icon. course, they don't have it here because it fell down. But there's none down there. We got that one up there. I might go. Oh, okay. There's a marker up here. Good. Obstacle. Anti-Chernobyl burner needed to traverse. Is that in the building? Oh, wow. Oh. That's something else you could do. You can create a. I don't know if it applies here, but we do have. We can't pick up items here. And we can't set up a shop either, so. That's weird. I wonder how you get that in. Or maybe that's just a story element only. Let's work our way over to these two, and then we'll go up. Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, if there's a helicopter there, yeah. I think what we'll do is we'll work our way down here. Maybe explore this, and then come up here, hit these, and then maybe I'll do a cut in. It's not that far away. And then we'll come over this way. I wonder what this building is. This is kind of cool because you do get to explore the zones. The zones. There it is. Train yards are spooky enough. Oh, this is where I was. Remember, I had that firefight with the dude behind this pillar or this. Is that a K rail? Yeah, ducking and shooting and ducking and. Yeah, I remember that. So we were here. Um, there it is. Prior to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, workers at the Chernobyl power plant would commune via train from the city of Chernihiv. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Cutting through Belarus and arriving in roughly 40 minutes. However, since the border with Belarus is now, I know I added a G last time, sorry, is now closed, workers are forced to take longer route through Kiev, resulting in commutes of 2 to 2.5 hours. Jesus. Over double their time. Yeah, we had a shootout here. I wonder if the basement's open. So that's like where we started, wasn't it? Or no, we started on the outside. Yanov Station played a vital role in the construction of Pripyat, supplying building materials and equipment. After the Chernobyl disaster, the station was used to evacuate people from the exclusion zone. While Yanov village was demolished and buried during the construction of the new safe confinement, the station proved essential again. Despite being closed now, the site still attracts tourists interested in Soviet railway equipment. But it's all irradiated. Like, I don't understand why people would even want to go here anymore. I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not on my bucket list at all. I find it interesting and that kind of stuff, but maybe we can't go downstairs. Yeah, because it's through this door. Oh well. Yeah, so we got those. Let's go hit these, and then when we get this one, we'll work our way over here. See if there's anything interesting over there. I see you.
Stalker is a term used to describe individuals who venture into the exclusion zone around the Chernobyl disaster site. They do so for various reasons, such as taking photographs and collecting information, or simply for the thrill of exploring a forbidden and abandoned place. Despite the danger posed by radiation, many people still visit the exclusion zone and engage in these activities. Remember that entering the exclusion zone without proper protective gear and authorization is illegal and can be highly dangerous to one's health.
Yeah.
The name derives from the 1979 science fiction novel and subsequent movie Roadside Picnic by
Huh.
Russian authors Arkady and Boris Strugatsky. In the book, the term stalker refers to individuals who venture into a restricted zone created by aliens to scavenge valuable artifacts. The term Chernobyl stalkers is an analogy describing individuals scavenging for valuables or exploring within the Chernobyl exclusion zone.
Which what we call those urban explorers.
Estimates vary widely, but some sources suggest that a few thousand people visit the exclusion zone each year. The majority are tourists seeking to explore the abandoned city of Pripyat and the surrounding area. However, these numbers are difficult to verify, as many visitors enter the zone illegally
Right.
and without proper authorization.
Ay, 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 ay. People are dense. What can I say? People are dense. Pass it. Idiot. Those are so hard to see. The exclusion. I wonder if we'll see that. There's like a house that's just got like a bunch of dolls in it. It's creepy as hell. The exclusion zone holds a unique and haunting type of relic which may even be considered artifacts dolls. If you've played Chernobylite, you might have noticed the developer's fixation on them. If not, these dolls serve as an eerie and unsettling reminders of the children whose lives were disrupted by the Chernobyl disaster. When visiting the exclusion zone, you may come across these dolls in unusual and unexpected locations. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. This raises questions about who placed them there and whether they move on their own when nobody's watching. How great Fallout stuff, yeah. The truth behind these dolls remains a mystery for now. That's great because like it's weird because like those pictures of those ones don't really bother me, but like porcelain dolls freak me the fuck out. I'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that though. In 1989, 31 Brzezowski horses were introduced to the exclusion zone. The most recent census conducted by local scientists in 2018 revealed that around 150 horses now live in the Ukraine section of the exclusion zone. Some of the animals have even migrated north and established themselves in Belarus. Despite the species being associated with open terrain, the horses of Chernobyl frequently inhabit forest regions, including the Red Forest, one of the most radioactive areas on the planet. Weird. Yeah, let's go over here and check out just the area. What is that? Is that just a shed? Don't drink the water. Oh. Somehow I did not see that barbed wire fence until I was right on it. Oh, the way those two trunks in the background lined up, it looked like it was a dude. Yeah, like that. I was like, what is that guy doing? But it's just too. I don't know if you could see it. It's like dead center screen. It looked like a guy. All right, let's. There wasn't much out here, so I don't know. I definitely do want to check out the building, but let's go up here. There we go. Yeah.
What you see here is the Claw, a large metal structure located in the Red Forest area of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. This equipment was used in cleanup and containment efforts following the Chernobyl disaster. Despite its notoriety, the Claw acts as a reminder of the ongoing risks posed by the disaster and continuing efforts to address its legacy.
At first, I
It was used to remove radioactive graphite emitting 20,000 roentgen per hour from the roof of reactor number 3. It's still dangerous even today.
damn. At first, I thought they meant the helicopter was the claw, but I see the claw there back behind his shoulder.
It's one of the few remaining physical reminders of the scale and scope of the cleanup operation, involving thousands of workers and specialized equipment. The Claw has become a symbol of the Chernobyl disaster and a popular destination for photographers and tourists visiting the exclusion zone. It depends on several factors, including the type and level of radiation, the duration of exposure, and the sensitivity of the individual. However, a dose of about 10 sieverts is considered lethal
Yep.
for the majority of the
Can you
population.
keep while we say hi?
It is important to note that lower doses of radiation can
Yeah,
have
so
serious
soft.
health effects depending on the exposure conditions.
I mean, I have to do it. Ooh, the claw. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible person. Uh, helicopter's cool. That is crazy, though. I mean, at least they did try really hard to sort of contain this. Oh, the thingy. There we go. I'm blind and I can't see the damn thing. I feared it been by the claw. There it is. After the. That's a cool. Is that automated? After the Chernobyl disaster, it became clear that the USSR had no vehicles suitable for highly radioactive environments. A variety of robots. Okay, I figured. It looked like it was automated. Were utilized for different tasks, including radiation reconnaissance, photography, sampling, analysis, the barrel of radioactive material, and the barrel of radioactive materials. However, most robots proved unsuitable for the harsh conditions. Some well-known robots used in Kiln 1, 2, Bayer, and MVT2. Man, I hurt. I smacked my cheek. That sound. Real robots used during the cleanup are on display on a platform on the outskirts of Chernobyl. Cool. Is there one of them here? Other than the helicopter? No. That's a shame. That'd be cool to see one! I guess they moved them all to the outskirts. Alright, let's see. What else do we got? Oh, yes. Make our way back. Let's see my marker. It's that way. Oh, okay. I see it. Don't drink the water. I suppose we'll pick up some rats here. No? Still reminded of the War of the Worlds. God, if you can get your hands on the and you like '80s nostalgia stuff, if you can get your hands on the War of the Worlds series from the '80s, it only ran 2 seasons. The first season was the best. Second season was kind of weird. First season's cool. Like, there's still a few episodes I can't watch because they're really disturbing, and it's not in like a violence way, but it's weird. But let's see. In May 1986, researchers in Kiev detected an abrupt and persistent increase in radiation levels. Within a week of the Chernobyl disaster, they reported that the radioactivity in drinking water, I told you don't drink water, and grass exceeded typical ambient radiations by 1,000-fold. Holy shit. Scientists needed to assess contamination of the food chain and its effects on human health. They realized that cows grazing in the fields ingesting radioactive cesium and iodine with the grass and could serve as a valuable means of measuring exposure. Hence, cows were used as a type of dosimeter. That's weird, but inventive. Interesting. On the car. In the car. Not the car. On the drum. But yeah, every time I see one of these drums, it reminds me of that because that's the series of World Worlds goes off of it's basically a continuation of the 19. I'm going to get the year wrong. I think it was like 74 or 75 film, which they're treating as canon in that series. That was an actual alien invasion, and what happened is like basically it follows the story of the book by H.G. Wells, and to contain the aliens and kind of hide it away from public view, they put them in these kind of drums. So there's a lot of these like radioactive drum barrels in that series. So every time I see one, that's immediately where my brain goes. Before the Chernobyl accident, Soviet scientists believed that people could safely live on land contaminated by up to 5 curies per square kilometer. However, this number didn't account for people in rural areas around Chernobyl consuming local produce. Produce contaminated with even 1 curie of radioactivity could be dangerous. That makes sense. You're ingesting the stuff, and then it basically goes through your body. Your body has to deal with that shit. After examining radiation contour maps, the commissioner realized that using 5 curies threshold would force over 1 million people to leave their homes, which wasn't feasible. As a result, they raised the threshold to 15 curies of cesium-137 per square kilometer, deeming it safe-ish. God, you gotta love things when they're safe-ish. And the exclusion zone was created. I think, now that I'm looking at it, I think it's just a bunch of buildings. Oh, can we even go in there? Maybe it's like a fort. I don't even think we can go in there. yeah, that's walled off. So we'll probably go in there in the campaign. I'll bet you. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, and we'll probably talk more with the War of the Worlds and more disaster shit. Until then, see you next time.